Have you ever opened your mouth to speak English, but your brain just froze? Like you had the words, but the fear was holding them hostage?
Oh, I know that feeling so well, Eva. That heavy, tight feeling in your chest. It's not just you, it's the most common roadblock for everyone learning a new language.
It really is. It's that moment where you think, I'm going to make a mistake. But you know what? We are going to change that for you today. Welcome back to the show, everyone. I'm Eva, and sitting right across from me, as always, is Helen.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. And Eva, I love that we're diving into this. It's a beautiful sunny day here in New York today, the kind of day that makes you want to open up and connect with people.
It really is. The energy is just different, isn't it? It helps you feel more you. But we know that when you're speaking a second language, feeling you can be hard.
Exactly. Today, we're talking about how to talk about your feelings in English with true confidence. You don't need big academic words to be powerful. You just need to be honest.
Yes, if you're tired of feeling stuck, this episode is for you. We're going to help you express your emotions clearly and naturally. Before we get into the heart of it, if you're enjoying our conversations, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and share this episode. It really helps us keep these conversations going for you.
Now, let's get into it. Eva, you mentioned earlier that you had a story about this.
So, to get us started, I want to share a little story from my life. It's a story about a time I felt really nervous, but I had to speak up.
Oh, I love stories. Let's hear it, Eva. Set the scene for us.
Okay, so a few months ago, I was invited to a work event. It was a networking event, and there were many new people there. Honestly, I didn't know anyone. I walked into the room, and I remember my hands were a little bit cold. My heart was beating fast. I think you call that having butterflies in your stomach.
Oh, absolutely. That's a very common feeling, Eva, even for me.
Yeah, and I really wanted to go home. I felt very shy. I thought, what if I say something wrong? What if I don't understand them? I was standing by the door thinking about just turning around and leaving. But then I told myself, Eva, just breathe. You are here to learn and meet people. I walked over to a woman standing by the snack table. She was eating a cookie, actually. And I just said, Hi, I'm Eva. This is a nice event, right? She smiled and said, Hi, I'm Sarah. Yes, it is. Are you enjoying the food? And just like that, we started talking. We talked for 20 minutes about work, about the city, about the cookies. After that, I felt so much better. I realized that everyone is a little bit nervous when they meet new people. Once I started the conversation, the nervousness just went away. I felt proud of myself for trying. It was a small win, but it felt big to me.
Wow, Eva, that is such a great story. And it's so true, isn't it? The beginning is always the hardest part. The anticipation is often worse than the actual event.
It really is, Helen. Once you say that first hello, everything gets easier. The pressure drops and you realize the other person is just a person too.
I love how you described your feelings. You said your heart was beating fast. That's a perfect way to show how you are feeling without using big, complicated words. It's visual and everyone understands it.
Thank you, Helen. It's the truth, though. My heart was really going thump, thump, thump. I could hear it in my ears.
And I think many of our listeners feel exactly the same way when they have to speak English to a stranger. It's not just about the language, it's about the emotion behind it. It's the fear of being exposed as a non-native speaker. But you know what? That fear is just a story we tell ourselves.
Definitely. I was worried about my English, about making grammar mistakes. But once I focused on the person and the conversation, I stopped thinking about the rules of the language. I was just focused on being nice to Sarah.
That is the best advice. Focus on the connection, not the grammar. You handled that situation so well, Eva. And it's a very common experience. We've all been there. I remember once walking into a party and feeling exactly like you did. It's a universal feeling. So let's talk about some of the things you said, Eva. You used some really good, simple phrases. For example, you said, I felt really nervous. That's the most basic way to express an emotion, right?
Right, Helen, or I was feeling nervous. Both are very natural. Sometimes I use I'm feeling a bit nervous, which is even softer. It sounds like you're sharing a secret.
Exactly. And then you said, my heart was beating fast. That's a great way to show what nervousness feels like in your body. You could also say, I was a little shaky or I was trembling.
Oh, shaky is a good one. I use that a lot when I'm cold or nervous. It's a very descriptive word.
Me too. And you mentioned, I had butterflies in my stomach. Now, for our listeners, that's an idiom, but it's a very common one. You don't have to use it, but it's great to know so you can understand others. It's a funny image, right? Butterflies flying inside you.
Yes. And what about when I said I wanted to go home? That's a simple way to say you are uncomfortable. You could also say I felt like leaving or I wanted to run away. These are simple, strong, direct ways to tell people how you feel.
Exactly. And there's one more thing that's important to mention, the physical side of emotions. When we are nervous, we might get sweaty palms or our face might get flushed. That means it gets a little red.
Oh, yes, I totally get that. I sometimes say I'm feeling a bit warm when I'm actually just nervous. It's a very polite way to acknowledge that your body is reacting to the stress.
Exactly. It's not just in your head, it's in your body. And learning to label those physical signs helps you manage the feeling. If you can name it, you can handle it.
And then you turned it around, Helen. You said, I told myself, just breathe. That's a great phrase. It's an action. When you're feeling an emotion, you can give yourself a little command. Just breathe, relax, be confident. It's like talking to a friend, but the friend is you.
That's the secret. Keep it short, keep it simple. It's a nice day, right? The coffee is good, right? Those little questions help you build confidence because the other person always answers. It's a yes answer, and that makes the conversation flow naturally. It's a magic trick for small talk. You know, hearing your story makes me think about my own experience. I remember when I started this podcast with you, Eva, I was a little nervous.
Really, Helen? You looked so calm. I would have never guessed.
I was. I was worried that I would talk too fast or that I wouldn't have anything interesting to say. I felt a lot of pressure to be perfect. And sometimes when I'm nervous, I talk too much to fill the silence. That's my nervous habit.
I had no idea. You seemed very professional. How did you deal with that feeling?
I did the same thing you did, Eva. I just started talking. I told myself, Helen, just be yourself. It's just a conversation. And once I heard your voice and we started laughing, I felt much more relaxed. How about you? Besides that work event, do you have other times you feel nervous?
Oh, all the time. Like when I have to make a phone call to a business or a doctor, I still get nervous sometimes, Helen. I worry about what they will ask me. The phone is harder than talking face to face, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. On the phone, you can't see the person's face, you can't see them smiling. That's definitely harder. I actually write down notes before I make those calls. I have a little piece of paper with my name, my birthday, the reason I'm calling. It helps me feel more confident. Do you do that, Eva?
I do. I write down the key questions. It helps me focus. It's like having a little map for the conversation. And I also practice the first sentence out loud. Hello, I'd like to book an appointment. If I can say that, the rest is easy.
That's smart, Eva. So if you feel nervous, you have a plan. That's a great tip for our listeners. If you have to talk in English, prepare a little bit. It gives you confidence. You don't need a whole script, just a map.
Exactly. And even if I make a mistake, I just keep going. Usually, people are very nice. They don't mind if you make a small mistake. They appreciate that you are trying to communicate.
They really don't. Most people just want to have a nice conversation. They aren't grading your English, right? We are our own worst critics. No, they aren't. That's a great point, Helen. Nobody is grading us. We are just here to connect. I think remembering that I am here to connect is a powerful way to be confident.
Totally. I remember a specific time at work. I had to give a presentation to my boss. I was really shaking. My palms were sweating, just like we talked about earlier.
Oh, that's a big stressor. How did you manage that one?
I realized that everyone in the room wanted me to succeed. They weren't waiting for me to fail, they were waiting for information. Once I switched my mindset from I am being judged to I am helping them understand, my nervousness dropped. I just looked at one person, then another, and treated it like a group conversation.
That's such a powerful mental shift, Helen. I am helping them. That removes the pressure from you and puts it on the goal. That's a great tip for our listeners.
I tried it in Italy too. I remember one time I tried to order coffee in Italian. I made a huge mistake. I used a word that meant something totally different. And you know what? The barista just laughed, corrected me, and we both had a good time. It wasn't embarrassing, it was a connection.
See, Helen, mistakes are just part of the story. They make the conversation memorable. If you didn't make that mistake, you wouldn't have that funny story to tell me today.
Exactly. And now I'm much less afraid to speak Italian. So listeners, don't be afraid of the mistakes. The mistakes are your friends. We've covered a lot of ground today, Helen. We talked about feelings, nervousness, and how to start conversations. It's been such a nice flow.
We really did, Ava, and we talked about how to express those feelings in a very simple way. Things like, I felt nervous, my heart was beating fast, or I had butterflies in my stomach. We also discussed those physical signs like sweaty palms or feeling flushed and how to move past them with a simple just breathe or a change in mindset.
And we talked about actions too, taking a deep breath or writing down notes before a call. These are small things, but they make a big difference in how confident you feel. It's about managing the body and the mind together.
That's the goal. We want you to feel confident in your daily life. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be yourself and keep trying. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being okay with not being perfect.
Hearing our conversation again is a great way to learn. Let's listen to that story segment one more time, Helen. Pay attention to how I described my feelings and how I started the conversation. Hearing it again helps your brain catch the rhythm and the natural pauses.
That's a great idea, Eva. Let's listen again. Remember, notice how Eva's tone changes as she gets more comfortable.
So, to get us started, I want to share a little story from my life. It's a story about a time I felt really nervous, but I had to speak up. A few months ago, I was invited to a work event. It was a networking event, and there were many new people there. I didn't know anyone. I walked into the room, and I remember my hands were a little bit cold. My heart was beating fast. I think you call that having butterflies in my stomach. I really wanted to go home. I felt very shy. I thought, what if I say something wrong? What if I don't understand them? But then I told myself, Eva, just breathe. I walked over to a woman standing by the snack table. She was eating a cookie, actually. And I just said, Hi, I'm Eva. This is a nice event, right? She smiled and said, Hi, I'm Sarah. Yes, it is. Are you enjoying the food? And just like that, we started talking. We talked for 20 minutes. After that, I felt so much better. I realized that everyone is a little bit nervous when they meet new people. Once I started the conversation, the nervousness just went away. I felt proud of myself for trying.
That was great to hear again, Eva. Listening to it a second time really highlights how those small, simple sentences like, Hi, I'm Eva, and this is a nice event, are the building blocks of confidence.
Exactly, Helen. It's never about the big, fancy grammar. It's about taking that first step. I hope our listeners are feeling ready to take their own first steps today.
I love listening to that again, Eva. It's such a simple, powerful story. It really reminds me that we are capable of much more than we think.
It really is, Ava. I hope it helps all of you listening feel a little more confident today. Remember, it's okay to be nervous. It's just part of being human. Nervousness is just excitement without the deep breaths.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you too. What about you? When do you feel most nervous speaking English? Or what do you do to build your confidence? Do you have a confidence ritual like writing notes?
Let us know in the comments or send us a message, Ava. We read all of your messages and they make our day. Seriously, reading your stories helps us stay confident too.
Yes, they really do. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you in the next episode. Keep breathing, keep practicing, and keep being yourself.
Bye for now, Ava. Stay confident and keep practicing. You've got this.
Bogai Ava.